they gon' love me for my ambition.
Future, right? There's this big debate about Future. And I'll break it down chronologically for those who don't remember right here. We don't got to show video, but they can hear it. I'm going to make sure that my phone is connected to the Bluetooth. But when it comes to Future, right? Future is a direct influence for a lot of people across the entire world to do drugs. Literally, there's people that have listened to Future throughout their life and have done specifically lean. He's the most famous lean rapper, arguably of all time, right? Codeine crazy, everything. Well, what's another one? There's so many.
Percocets and stripper joints.
Yeah,
that's my shit, bro.
But at the same time,
God.
that's the thing. At the same time, the music is so amazing and so beautiful.
That's my favorite Future song.
Yeah, but
Great song.
I'm gonna play the clip for people to hear of, rest in peace, Juice WRLD. He directly influenced Juice WRLD, and Juice WRLD admitted to it. Prior to Juice WRLD dying.
And Future acknowledged this too, I want to say.
Yes.
In an interview, Future talked about the situation, how he felt bad that he influenced Juice WRLD.
Yeah. No, when Juice WRLD, well, I'll talk about it in order. So let's play the clip first. Hopefully it sounds. 1 second, white man. Give me a second, white man voice. Oh, shout out to the ladies from that lash salon that showed us love. They want us to stop hating on white women. But man, listen.
Who?
Oh, you didn't see the DM?
No.
I sent to the chat the white woman that want us to stop talking too much bad about white women.
Oh, yeah. She said, I'm a fan, but stop trashing white women.
Yeah, it's not all of you. It's just the idea of what you have historically represented, and currently represent. The most powerful person in the world right now, influential wise, probably is
a white woman.
A white woman, Taylor Swift. So, I love you.
I don't have beef with white women.
Yeah, but moving on to right here, the clip.
One of the first things that Juice WRLD told Future when they met up to make their 2018 record World on was that Future had influenced him to try lean. Juice WRLD told Vulture.com, "That's the first thing I told him." He was just like, wow. He kind of apologized. Future later reacted to this situation in an interview with Rolling Stone magazine, saying, quote, "When he told me that, I was like, oh what have I done? It really bothered me. It bothered me a lot. More than I thought it would bother me when he told me that. How many other 6th graders did I influence to drink lean? This really messed me up for a minute. It's all I could think about. Like, damn, what have I done? What have I done to other people?" Regardless of his habits,
his influence, right? And then this is the Juice WRLD clip right here.
Juice WRLD speaks on cleaning up his lifestyle.
In there, so it was something that I was into early, low-key due to music. I was a music head, so like in 6th grade, 7th grade, I'm hearing songs about sipping lean. Those are like the real influential years, I feel like, especially for like a boy. Like finding out who your role models are, what you like, basketball, football. That's like when you start kind of choosing the dreams you want to chase, damn near. So like 6th, 7th grade, I was hooping, playing baseball. I was good at both at the time, but I was also like freestyling, and I was really into music. So my family putting me on all this different music, Future, Gucci, all these niggas talking about drugs. The first song I ever heard by Future was Ain't No Way Around It. The second song I've ever heard by Future is Dirty Sprite. And that had me wanting to sip lean at like 11, 12 years old, bro. I ain't know if that was what I was really finna be doing, but
if you want to perfect your...
So we have him there admitting to it, right? And now we have this clip that's gone viral to bring it full circle of Russ.
It's amazing. But
on the Flagrant 2 podcast.
I think Future's music is amazing. But I also know that the reason why I wanted to try lean when I was 19 was Future. And I'm not gonna blame him. Juice WRLD said, "I did drugs because of you." Juice WRLD died of a drug overdose by following somebody who does not even do the drugs that they said they did. What the fuck are we talking about?
And then now, full circle moment, guys. I'm like an expert analysis. Now we have This Weekend on the Yeet album. Future literally raps saying, "It's been a week since you dissed your ops. You must be folding A." Let me say it his way, though, because how does it rhyme with the next line? "It's been a week since you dissed your ops. You must be folding. They say it's my fault if you fall out on the codeine. I'm just a rich-ass junkie. I might OD." Here he's acknowledging the fault that people are putting on him. But in the past, in the interviews, he's acknowledged the fault that he's put on himself. So it's a bit kind of going backwards for him to rap about it like this, so kind of like out of nowhere, as if it comes off as if, like, are you just mocking that idea, like they say, or are you like proud of that influence? You know what I'm saying? And to do it on the Yeet album, where Yeet raps about this, you know, he's been one of the rappers, one of the most recent drug rappers to an extent, right? One of the most popular ones. Pretty poignant, right? Now, do I want Future to be Mr. Deep, whatever? Like, oh, okay, stray away from this drug talk? Not necessarily. Like, I get it, but this specific line bothered me. When I was listening to this album, I'm like, why is he saying this shit? Like, wait a minute. Don't, you know, and is it a response? How recent is this verse? It could be possibly very recent and could be a direct response to the Russ interview, because the Russ interview was about like 2 weeks ago now, and that clip went viral. So maybe he's acknowledging Russ, maybe in response to Russ. Like, they say that it's my fault if you fall out on the codeine. But at the same time, it could be him mocking the idea of people saying, they're saying it's my fault if you fall out on the codeine. Because influence is one thing, but people can argue he's not telling kids, go do it. Also, he's not in the house being Juice WRLD's parents. Juice WRLD said he was, what, 11, 12 years old? That's crazy. I forgot he was that young when he tried he wanted to try codeine because of Future. That's insane. Russ said he was 19 when he tried to do when he did lean because of Future. So people, and Russ has always said this too, so people have been directly tying a correlation between Future and lean. Now the question is, did Future ruin our generation? You know, did Future ruin these kids? Is Future, who do we blame? You know, what's your take, Noah?
Didn't you do it because of Future?
No, yeah, of course. I actually did do it at a party, a classical party. We're not gonna get into that.
You disgusting piece of shit.
That shit was disgusting. That shit must have been trash.
It was horrible.
I know exactly who you got it from.
Yeah, the white boys are nasty.
Yeah.
But
nasty.
But this is my thing. Oh my God, this is beautiful. This all ties in together. Would you blame Drewski for gambling addiction?
Blame who?
Drewski for gambling addiction.
Drewski.
The fact that he, Super Bowl Sunday, lied and pretended that he won $1 million because it was a part of Prize Picks' whole marketing scheme. Him and Ruby Rose did the same thing. If I lose my house, do I get the right to blame Drewski? Because I then participated in Prize Picks.
That's a good take. I think it depends the way you go about it, right? Because I've always like struggled with that idea of like, even myself, like partnering up with these companies, etc. But like, if you emphasize the idea of responsibility and like telling people that, like when we did that commercial for, what was it, Tropical? No. It was for Island Coquito, but we filmed it in Tropical Liquors. Yeah. And I emphasized, like, yo, be 21 or plus to drink. Like, the liquor store owner loved that. He was like, yo, I love that you emphasize that because, you know, we emphasize that, and there's a lot of liquor stores that have been shut down because they don't emphasize that. They let minors drink, etc. You know, so that idea of reminding people, you know, to be responsible and to do things that, you know, I think that's where the line could be drawn, right? Because Future, I feel like you can blame more Future to influence someone for the lean, for the way he raps about it, more than someone who is telling you, you know, this is a sponsored post by blah, 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 you know, to be 21 plus or over. Because Future's not telling you, unfortunately, and at the same time, fortunately, because maybe it might not be a bop the same way. If he's like, yo, I'm sipping this cup, I'm on the cup, but don't you drink the cup too? You know what I'm saying? He's like,
and I understand that. My thing is this, and this is where I get frustrated with this conversation about addiction, because we don't actually talk about what addiction is. It's a mental thing. Like, it's a biological thing. When I was admitted in Butler and James Brown, I had a lot of conversation with drug addicts and their providers, and they explained it to me well, because I had my own issues with alcohol. I was an alcoholic at one point, and they explained to me the whole process. Bro.
No, I always lived a hell of a life.
Yeah, I've lived one hell of a fucking life, bro. Jesus fucking Christ. But this is my point. Like, I've met gambling addicts, and like, bro, like, it's it's cool, my nigga, that you as ESPN, and me and Chad talk about this a lot now. My nigga, do you know how many times ESPN does the whole like, oh, this is our mega pick, like Charles Barkley, Shaq, the whole TNT crew, has their own prize pick lineup every fucking game.
I've been seeing that. Yeah, they do that now.
Every single sports cast you could think of have their own prize pick lineup. All of the podcasts, their own prize pick lineup. Yo, it don't matter how many fucking times you put a disclaimer. An addict is an addict. They're going to see that shit and go with it. They're going to participate in the addiction. Now, I get the argument that Future, like, was promoting drug use, but so was Joey. Remember the whole Smokers Club fucking tour that happened when we were in high school with Joey, Absol, and they were all they were smoking weed in this. We don't call that out. And the generation of pot smokers they possibly created, like, I think there's a lot of selectiveness because lean is obviously an extreme drug. It causes heart attacks. It's a dangerous drug. I do not recommend doing it, even though I've done it. And I'm telling you not to do it because it is dangerous.
Yeah, because I never seen anyone die from weed.
But I've also seen weed affect people's lives drastically and negatively.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people get consumed by it, and I've seen a lot of people transition from weed to harsher drugs to deal with a lot of their issues. My point is, how much of that is the actual population? Because you've even told me the gambling population is like what, less than 1%? It's the same idea with drug use. If you look it up, the same idea with alcohol. So it's like
it's not a huge issue.
I feel like that's why niggas don't care. I feel like that's why niggas don't make it a priority. I feel like that's why niggas don't ban gambling. They don't ban these drugs fully and do a good job about it, on dealing with it, because it's just not enough of the population being affected. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
But it is an addiction thing. Like, there are people who can handle it and participate. I did it. I moved on. I know niggas that did it and moved on. And there's other niggas who it destroys their lives.
I just think it's strange, man. Like, Future acknowledged, like, the fact that it fucking bothered him. Like, that, damn, like, he thought about it for a while. Like, he was going crazy about it, right?
Agree.
But he didn't stop rapping about it to the point that now we have him here embracing, almost saying it like it came off like a badge of honor. When you listen to the song, the flow almost came off like it's a badge of honor. Like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, influence is influence. I do get that. You know, people have always kind of given that to, like, Wayne. Like, oh, the lean influencer and rap first before anyone, Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
But Lil Wayne was never proud of it. Lil Wayne wasn't telling people, like, yeah, I did that, etc. He didn't even want to talk about it. He didn't talk about his lean addiction. He was really actually addicted.
Yeah.
You know?
I got a quick question.
But Future has been quoted saying that he doesn't even do the drugs. That he never did, or if he did, it wasn't as much.
Yeah. He exaggerates his way.
Yes. But then, I don't know, man. Is it a sense of, like, he's trying to just keep the mystique and the mysteriousness element and not trying to be as transparent? You know what I'm saying? Because why, like, if I'm him, just be like, yo, I don't want you to do this. Like, I don't want to, it's a, you know, I'm like how 21 Savage said a couple years ago, like, this is a character I'm portraying. This is entertainment. When I'm rapping about this is not me. I'm not really doing this stuff. You know, go fully into that. And people would appreciate that. But then people want the authenticity, etc. I personally don't want the authenticity when it comes to specifically shit like this. Like,
Yeah.
if you're rapping about lean, etc., I'd rather you not be doing it. If it just sounds good, you're doing it for melodic purposes, etc., okay. But if we want it to be really authentic, we have to realize, like, what are we asking for? We want Future to really rap about lean and do lean. So we want to see Future, God forbid, in a couple months in a photo of Future hospitalized because he's suffering from dehydration because he's strung out on lean.
Yeah.
Is that what we want? Like, we want it to be fully authentic? So I think that the authentic bullshit that people be saying, like, oh, I want it to be real, blah, blah, blah. Nah, man. And I don't think that's what necessarily helped Future, like, catapult, like, his authenticity in his music. I think it was just the nigga's really good with melody. Like, he's a melodic genius. Like,
Yeah.
he fucking does a feature with some shit, he owns it. Like, they'll switch up the beat for him, and, like, they'll make it his own song. Like, he's too fucking good. On the Nicki album, the shit he did on there was insane. So I think his talent exceeds everything. So to be honest, I don't even think he needs the lean shit. I think he should drop the whole shit. You know, go about it a different way. You know, he's had personal songs with the Future Hendrix albums, and he does, like, a lot of I think his strongest suit is, like, the relationship shit.
Yeah.
When he does, like, the relationship talk and all that type of stuff.
Hendrix, the whole album.
Yeah, so yeah, man. Listen, this is just a little bit of what I've done a lot through our reactions when we react to music throughout all these years. I pay attention to the lyrics, and I didn't like that.
Let me ask you a question.
Future saying that was kind of like, oh,
Let me ask you a real deal question.
I wouldn't do lean. No.
This is a real bigger question about art itself. Because I think he's taking the route that, what's her name?
Ice Spice.
Cardi B took. Close enough. You're close enough. So Cardi B, when WAP came out, you remember they were crucifying her ass over it.
What came out again?
When WAP came out, they crucified her for it.
WAP?
Yeah, WAP.
WAP.
Wet ass
WAP,
pussy.
WAP,
Yeah.
WAP.
So when WAP came out, they crucified her for it, and they said you're glorifying this culture of sex.
Yes.
And the selling of sex and this whole concept of just this hyper sex culture. And Cardi said, well, it's your job to decide who listens to my music. I just produce art. I'm not gonna give you a disclaimer on my art, and I'm not gonna censor my art. Same way how basically people say what Future's what he's saying in that song and what people say about Future. It's not Future's job to stop you from listening to him. It's not his job to disclaim. It's art. And like I have to ask, like, are you gonna blame Cardi B for the fact that more and more girls who turn 18 are becoming OnlyFans models? Is she responsible for that? Like, where does the censor begin and where does it end? Like, when is it art? And when are we gonna, like, when is it art and then when is it something that's directly influencing people? Like, I need to understand the line. Because I feel like for certain topics, the goalpost changes. Because everyone defended Cardi B. But then I see sometimes, like, niggas will attack Future and I'm like, this is the same concept.
Yeah.
There's no difference here. Cardi B is influencing a young demographic of women to think that this is how they should interpret sex, this problematic way of seeing sex. And then Future's sitting here and saying, well, this is how you should interpret dealing your issues with drug addiction. Like, there's no difference here. They're both doing negative things. Why are we censoring one and defending the other?
I mean, I think they're both wrong. They're both wrong. Ultimately, like fundamentally, they both are wrong. But I see it where like it is art, it's artistic approach, right? And everyone has their rights to interpret it their own way, you know. And it's like I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. Like Future is one of my favorite rappers of all time. Like I love Future's discography. Everything about Future is insane to me. Like I'll listen to Future every fucking day. Like it's scary. Like how much I love him, right? But the shit bothers me. Like
I understand.
I can't listen to the Yeet song and then he says that line and be like, oh, all right, let's keep it going to the next line. When I hear that, I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? Like, is he trying to just like say that shit, throw it out there for fun and shits and giggles, or is he actually bothered? You know, is there a bigger conversation to be had here? You know, in the culture with everything that's been going on.
Yeah, it's not my job, is what he's saying. It's not my job to give a damn about how you interpret my music. Like, that's your job.
Yeah,
there has to be some personal responsibility. And this goes back to my other point. Parents, why are your children listening to this music? But it's easy to consume this music when you're on a tab.
With sex, I would say is inevitable. Everyone has to have sex. Everyone is born naked. You know, so with sex, I have a bit of a less heavier, dense opinion on when it comes to just drug usage. Because, you know what I'm saying? You can die from sex, but, you know what I'm saying?
You can also have teen pregnancy.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just my point. Is like there just has to be some personal responsibility and regulation.
Bro, parents have to take full responsibility, bro, in my opinion. Because it's like if you're a parent, you're not watching what the fuck your students are consuming, the people they're hanging around with, you know, all of these things that they might be hiding from you and shit. Because at the end of the day, I get it, you know, they're children. They can't really sometimes differentiate what's good from bad, this and that. Me personally, I don't know, and this is probably because of the way that I was raised. You know, I had an alcoholic father, and a lot of shit happened and shit. But me, myself, I was smart enough to differentiate, be like, okay, like, I can see that I don't like that. I can see that that's not a good thing for the family in itself. I can see that there's many cases that really, like, nobody really likes to see that in general. So why am I going to go and do that? Same thing with drugs. It's common sense that drugs, one, you can become an addict to it and it can fuck you up. So the fact that some of these, you know, teens, especially nowadays that want to act like fucking adults, the fact that you can't differentiate what's really going to fuck you over and what's not is mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially with how, you know, society has really opened the doors when it comes to information for everyone with technology and shit. 100% parents keep an eye on what the fuck your kids are doing and all of this shit. 100%. And drilling to them what's good and what's bad. But a lot of the times, I feel like the people who are into this shit are the kids that don't have parents that are on their dick, parents that partake in these things.
Yeah.
And then maybe even the ones that don't have parents.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? If you're, and at the same time, it's like, I get it. Sometimes you can be extremely strict, and because of the fact that you're strict, they want to rebel against you. But you have to know
a balance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm sorry. I'm the type of person that believes in if you're easily influenced by someone, then you should really get checked because of the fact that this music, for example, you're listening to music and shit. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're putting the drug in your fucking hand. You, out of curiosity, is like, yo, you know what? Let me go fucking do it. But you listen to so many artists and you know that they're fucking addicts and that shit fucks them over. But you view it as something cool because it's what the generation is doing nowadays. And it quote unquote, the only thing I could blame fucking artists for is when they do shit like this and they say that that's what helps them make art.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
problematic for me. I agree.
That is something that I could be like, okay, I can blame the artist for that.
Yeah.
But if they're making music talking about these drugs, sex, this, and that, it's you as the listener, it's your job to fucking pay attention to it or not.
Yeah.
I listen to music, bro, where they're talking about people getting bodied and shit. That doesn't mean I'm gonna go fucking body someone, bro.
And it's funny you say that because there was a beef about that. You probably saw it like 2-3 years ago. And Hennessy was in the middle of this. Shout out to Hennessy, artist out of Rhode Island, and they were trashing rap, saying rap is the reason why niggas is doing drugs, niggas is killing each other. And me and Hennessy, I agree with Hennessy, and I commented on her thing. I'm like, no, you're absolutely right. Like, one of the most violent times in U.S. history was the 80s, 90s. That was also the crack epidemic. Mm-hmm. You know what the fuck these niggas was rapping about? They was not rapping about gangs. Tribe Called Quest, Nas. These niggas was rapping Run DMC introspective rap about the system, about how terrible their lives are. Well, Wu-Tang, about how we need to build our communities. So it wasn't the music that was influencing anybody to kill each other or do crack. It was the lack of community. It was the fact that black fathers were being arrested at an astronomically high rate at the time in the prison industrial system. The fact that there was no homes, that there was no proper upbringing. Like, these were things we acknowledged. There was no funding in the community. Capitalism was screwing black people at an astronomically high rate. So, like, it has to be more than just the music. Because I agree with you, Vic. Like, Future shouldn't promote it. But if Future tomorrow stops, this is not going to stop these niggas. They're still going to do drugs. Because it's deeper than just the music. I think it's like a whole socio-economic thing going on here.
But I do think if Future came out tomorrow with a drug preventive program and actually shows himself helping like lean addicted people, maybe meeting with someone directly that is now an addict because of his music.
Yeah.
Because so many people have said it, that they have been even trying the drug because of him. I think it would be effective to the people. And it also, people haven't even tried the drug yet. They'll be like, damn, this is more reason for me not to check it out. I fuck with Future's music, but if Future, the one that raps about lean, he's saying not to do lean, and he's actually putting money towards people to get recovery help from the lean. Oh shit! I think it could be effective.
No,
not 100%. It's not going to solve the issue.
I feel like the fan base would be split half and half. There's gonna be the ones that are actually woke and can put 2 and 2 together, and their brain fucking works, and be like, oh my god, you know what? Yes, he is right. Let me not do that. And then there's gonna be the ones, the hood motherfuckers, this and that. Oh, he's a bitch. Oh, he now he's softening up on us. Oh, he used to do this and now he's changing up and shit. Nah, we don't fuck with him no more. That's just society, bro.
But my thing is, just going off what I know of drug addicts, and I have to say this, just because of the way the fentanyl epidemic came about, there are a lot of people who are drug addicts. There's a big misconception in society that are drug addicts because that's how they cope with their problems. They do not have a proper way to cope. And if you remove one way, they're just going to turn to another drug that is introduced to them. And that has to be the bigger conversation. We need to teach people to go to therapy to cope with their issues. Drugs are not a way to deal with your problems. And that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people. That's one of the biggest causes for drug addiction.
100%. But I do think there's definitely a lot of people that is just, they might not even be addicted to the drug, but they're addicted to the aesthetic and perception.
Of course.
Because I was in the fucking school bathrooms smoking paper. Rolling up pieces of paper and smoking them in the school bathrooms.
Who's teaching you that, bro?
In elementary school.
Who was teaching you that?
Thinking I'm cool, thinking I'm Lil Wayne, thinking I'm all these rappers, and I'm smoking in the school, like in the bathrooms. Smoking what? Smoking ash? What was that? What is that when you smoke that? That's just ash, pure ash.
I don't even know what that is.
You see, so now let me ask you this. What was the urge for you to do these things because you want to be cool? Why were you so fixated on that back in the day?
I don't know. You had to go back in time and
ask
interview me at 6 years old. But I remember me doing that, and I'm pretty sure it was directly because I wanted to be cool. Because there was no drug. I didn't do the drug, but it was just that aesthetic. So I know, and I've seen younger kids right now, literally, there's a trend right now on TikTok.
Yeah.
That shit makes no sense.
White girls making mocktails with NyQuil. And they're putting this, and it's like a lean inspired thing, and they're using like a Drake photo as inspiration. Bro, come on. Because Drake on the back cover of Her Loss is lean cups. You know, and they're lean, and we've spoke about this already. The Drake shit.
My thing is, I feel like those are like the really corny people. Sometimes those people don't even turn into drug addicts, like the real deal drug addicts. Because like Juice WRLD had real problems.
Yeah,
he had real mental health issues. That nigga was admitting it. He's in his song saying, "Help me, please." Yeah. I think those niggas, bro, like, there's a relief that comes with, because you need to, obviously, like, with mental illness, there's like a biological thing going on. The drug creates a relief, and we need to talk about how can we deal with
different ways to cope with it.
Momentary.
But even to go back with the 90s, you know, that's what you said still had a fallacy because of the fact that, you know, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre. Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks.
How much later was that though? Because in the 80s when the
still
crack epidemic
influential
was booming, that was all Tribe Called Quest. That was Run DMC. That was early hip hop.
Yeah, but they weren't the highest selling, nigga. The highest selling was the bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. The most negative shit. We have to be honest.
But they were speaking facts though.
No, they weren't speaking facts.
Were they glorifying drugs back then? I don't think so. The drug thing is pretty new because remember, Joe Budden was deemed as a crackhead when he
but I'm
dropped.
talking about influence.
Okay.
Rap and music influence.
Oh,
like,
no,
that was what you said earlier.
Oh, yeah. I meant more like there was a crack epidemic and these niggas were saying don't do crack. They weren't promoting it and it was still happening.
I would say that
there was a whole situation
there was
going
more,
on.
To move on from this too, but there was more, like justice rap and like actual human rights type of energy back then than now. Like by a landslide, especially by the main artist, you know, because again, the only one that was doing it recently, Kendrick Lamar, but he's not around. So it's like, and that's, you can't depend on one person. You know, back then you had movements, you know, NWA, Tribe Called Quest, like you said, there was movements of people. Little Brother, there was actually groups, you know, that were pushing this. Now it's not existent.
Let's
and if
honest,
it is existent, but it's not mainstream.
Today's wave is dick riding. That's today's wave. That's today's wave.
Yo, just say Playboy fans.
Huh? No, I'm not just focusing on one. You Playboy Cardi are dick riders. But today's wave, that's what it is, dick riding. Let's be honest.
It's true.
Because of the fact that you want to dick ride a wave that you think is gonna make you fitting in society, because that's the bulk of what's actually happening nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easier to try to fucking fit in and make yourself be who the fuck you really are not to become this new fucking character because of the fact that you want to dick ride.
They gon' love me for my ambition.